Who is Cleopatra? Cleopatra was a famous queen of Egypt who lived during the 1st century BCE, before the Common Era. She was a member of the Ptolemaic dynasty, which ruled Egypt after the death of Alexander the Great. Cleopatra is known for her intelligence, political savvy, and beauty. She famously aligned herself with Julius Caesar, the Roman general and politician, and later with Mark Antony, another Roman politician and general. Her relationships with these two men were central to her political power and influence. Cleopatra is also known for her tragic end. Following the defeat of her and Mark Antony's forces in a battle against Octavian, the future Roman emperor, in 31 BCE, both Cleopatra and Mark Antony committed suicide. Cleopatra's story has been the subject of many books, plays, and films over the years, and she remains an enduring figure of history and popular culture. Cleopatra was born in Alexandria, Egypt, in 69 BCE, and she became queen at the age of 18 after the death of her father, Ptolemy XII. She initially ruled jointly with her younger brother, Ptolemy XIII, but she eventually took sole control of Egypt. Cleopatra was a shrewd and capable ruler who was fluent in multiple languages, including Greek and Egyptian. Cleopatra's alliances with Julius Caesar and Mark Antony were crucial to her political power. She had a son with each man, and she used these relationships to strengthen her position in the Roman Empire. Cleopatra's relationship with Mark Antony was particularly controversial, as he was already married to Octavian's sister, and their affair was seen as a threat to the stability of Rome. When Octavian declared war on Cleopatra and Mark Antony, they were defeated in the Battle of Actium, and they both committed suicide soon afterward. Despite her controversial reputation, Cleopatra is remembered as a powerful and intelligent leader who was dedicated to the prosperity of her people. She was also known for her love of culture and the arts, and she was a patron of writers, artists, and musicians. Cleopatra's legacy continues to fascinate people around the world, and her story remains an important part of both Egyptian and Roman history. Why is Cleopatra so famous? Cleopatra is famous for a variety of reasons. One of the main reasons is her association with the Roman Empire and the famous figures of Julius Caesar and Mark Antony. Her relationships with these two men were central to her political power and influence, and they helped to shape the course of history. Cleopatra's alliance with Julius Caesar allowed her to maintain control of Egypt. Her affair with Mark Antony helped to cement her position as a powerful ruler. In addition to her political prowess, Cleopatra was also known for her beauty, intelligence, and cultural achievements. She was well educated and fluent in multiple languages, and she was a patron of the arts and sciences. Cleopatra was also a skilled administrator who was dedicated to the prosperity of her people. All of these factors helped to make her a memorable and influential figure in history. Cleopatra's tragic end also contributed to her enduring fame. Her suicide following the defeat of her forces in the Battle of Actium has been the subject of countless works of art, literature, and drama over the centuries. Cleopatra's story has captivated people for generations, and she remains an iconic figure of both ancient and modern times. Why did Cleopatra marry her brother? Cleopatra married her younger brother, Ptolemy XIII, as a part of the Ptolemaic tradition in Egypt. The Ptolemaic dynasty practiced sibling marriage to maintain the purity of their Greek bloodline and to solidify their hold on power. This practice ensured that the rulers of Egypt maintained a direct bloodline connection and prevented the introduction of foreign influences through marriage with non-Ptolemaic individuals. When Cleopatra's father, Ptolemy XII, died, Cleopatra and her brother were named joint rulers. However, their relationship was strained, and Cleopatra faced challenges from her brother's advisors, who sought to undermine her authority. As a result, Cleopatra was eventually forced into exile. It is worth noting that the marriage between Cleopatra and her brother was not one of love or affection. It was primarily a political arrangement aimed at maintaining the Ptolemaic dynasty's control over Egypt. Cleopatra's eventual rise to sole rule and her alliances with powerful Roman figures, such as Julius Caesar and Mark Antony, marked a shift away from the traditional practice of sibling marriage in the Ptolemaic dynasty. Death of Cleopatra? Cleopatra died in 30 BCE in Alexandria, Egypt. Her death followed the defeat of her and Mark Antony's forces in the Battle of Actium against the Roman general and future emperor, Octavian. After the battle, Cleopatra and Mark Antony retreated to Egypt, where they both committed suicide. The exact details of Cleopatra's death are unclear, as there are multiple accounts from ancient historians. According to the most popular account, Cleopatra committed suicide by allowing herself to be bitten by a venomous snake, an asp, which was brought to her in a basket of figs. This method of suicide was seen as a noble and dignified way to die, and it was consistent with Cleopatra's status as a queen. Cleopatra's death marked the end of the Ptolemaic dynasty, which had ruled Egypt since the death of Alexander the Great. Following Cleopatra's death, Egypt became a province of the Roman Empire. Cleopatra's legacy, however, has endured for centuries, and she remains one of the most famous and influential women in history.
Subscribe for more horrors and mysterious videos. Thanks.